Need the timer. Okay. You see something. The mining must continue. Okay, there is air pocket down here after all. Fun. Let's not get carried away though. I need to get the rest of this mine down. Yeah, there's probably still like an hour left in this chunk. We shall see. Just doing one today. Any stream that's this late is usually just gonna be a single chunk. Because I just got off work and I gotta go to work tomorrow. And I work pretty long shifts, so I don't have too much time for gaming. Even one chunk is still progress, exactly. That's why I'm getting myself to do these nighttime streams again. I mean, even if I only do 2 or 3 of them, like I don't do them every night, it still adds up over time. And we'll have longer streams this weekend and next week. So yeah, I'm hoping to make a lot of progress real soon. I can't really do much on my work days. Just because I work such long shifts. Like if I worked 8 hours, I could probably do 2 chunks instead of one, but nope, I work 11 hours, so I don't got time. I guess one way to think about it is even if I legitimately only did 2 chunks per week on my work days, which is 4 days a week. So what? It'd be 104 chunks extra in a year's time that I wouldn't have gotten done otherwise if I did 0 on my work days. Because I don't plan on doing daily streams again. I'm only doing streams on days where I don't have the ability to hang out with my significant other after work. So it'll probably vary depending on the week. Yeah. Once we reach negative 29, we'll see how much time save that actually gave me. Cause yeah, this chunk's been pretty average so far. Maybe even slightly slower than average. It's a decent amount, but it's only like an eighth of the chunk that actually has an air pocket here, or maybe like a sixth. So it's not a crazy amount. Kill a chicken? Nah. We're actually here to make as many chickens as possible. In fact, Okay, I don't have any extra eggs right now to throw. Like, theoretically I could, but I personally don't really like doing the chunks in a partial way, and also I really need the other little bits of time I have to either maybe enjoy something else, like watching videos, or maybe even do a little OSU or something, but also, frankly, I just need the time to, like, do the basics today, like shower and stuff. So, I don't get very much time on my work days to do that much. It's just the nature of this kind of work schedule. But I'm gonna be taking some time off work in the next week, so I'll probably end up doing a few longer streams in the next week, including this weekend. I don't want to overdo it, but I definitely want to make some good progress while I can. Okay. Nope, no chicken. Here, I'll just keep that there. I don't know, maybe in the future, though, I'll have a more normal work schedule where I can do a bit more without needing to basically use up an entire day or two of my weekend doing only this. Because I would prefer to have it where I just kind of do, like, 2 to 3 chunks every day, rather than, like, 0 to 1 chunks every workday, and then try to squeeze, like, 5 on an off day. That's not very... It's less enjoyable to do it that way. But I don't really have much of a choice. I mean, theoretically... Ugh. Okay, never mind. I thought I was gonna sneeze. Theoretically, I could squeeze in more time if I just sacrificed sleep. But realistically, that's a terrible idea. No, I'm not gonna do that. You already did enough of that in the Usu completion days. I'm not gonna repeat that. I actually like getting a normal amount of sleep. Like right now, I've been averaging. I think right now I average around 7 hours of sleep, and I think that's good for me. I feel like I don't really feel much benefit beyond that. I certainly feel worse if I get less than that, so. Like recently, well, I guess not that recently, but maybe like a couple of weeks ago, I had a day where I got like 3 or 4 hours of sleep. I just was really struggling to get to sleep, and I just felt like garbage all day, and I don't know how I used to just exist in that amount of sleep every single day. It's kind of crazy that I used to just do that every day. I think hypothetically I could, like, if I really managed my time, I could theoretically do 2 chunks on a workday, like without sacrificing sleep. The only issue with doing that is that I would basically I would have 0 free time if I did it that way. And I don't even mean just like enjoyment free time. I just mean like even like decompression time. It's just really hard. Like I would have to really make things work to sustain that, and that's not really I'm not trying to do that. So like theoretically possible, but in reality, I don't think it's worth. The juice is not the worth the squeeze. I am fine with the current arrangement as is. I mean, I would prefer to have a more normal schedule, but with that limitation, I think I'm fine with this. And again, even if it's just like 2 times a week on my work days where I do a single chunk, that really does add up over the course of a year. Again, like if I did 2 chunks on my work days across the span of 1 year, like that's 104 chunks extra. It probably went into the cave somewhere. Mobs... Oh, no, never mind. It's right there. Mobs do like to go for higher ground, though. So, if it finds some, it will go for it. Oh, wait. Okay, yeah. Yeah, honestly, this air pocket didn't really give me that much time save. Or at least the rest of the chunk has just been like full deep slate, so it's the average isn't really moving. Oh yeah. Yeah. Sorry, I'm keeping all my legendary chunks. No deal. Oh yes. Do you have huge cave chunk? I do. We're actually in the next week we're gonna be hitting quite a lot of really fast cave chunks actually. I mean, you can even see from, well, it's kind of hard to see at night, but you'll see in just a second what I'm talking about. Like, even just from this cross section, you can see some caves going on, and that's not even the most impressive ones, or like the most impressive sections. That's true. Honestly, I think having a chunk be full deep slate is probably rarer than anything else. I mean, we've had some that were really high density. We do not use explosives here. No orbital strike cannon allowed. True. I'm tired, but I'm good. How are you doing, Pixel? You know, I should be allowed to use the Ender Dragon to mine the chunks. That's actually a brilliant idea. Finally finish your map. What kind of map are we talking? Also, is it standard? Send it to a couple top players, test play, and both agreed. Tycho. Nine-star Tycho tech map actually sounds like lunacy. Like I don't know what that even entails. Lunatic difficulty. Ooh. Perhaps it might even reach the levels of James difficulty. Can't remember the last time I've actually made like a real OC map. It's gotta be years now. I think I made like one or two joke maps in the last couple of years, but that's it. Oh, that's cool. Which artist? Ah, alright, nice. Well, if you guys go to the government website right now, we'll see all the evidence of election fraud and election interference. Also had a bangers session yesterday, so trying to ride that high today. Nice. Keep it going, keep it going. Okay. I should learn more about trains. I'd probably know more about trains if America actually had real public transit across the entire country. We are actually talking about the video game Osu. Correct. I mean, that's what most people here know me for, so it is a frequent discussion. I am, in fact, a miner as well. Hmm. You're of minor importance. Dang. Didn't have to kill him like that. You are a menace, Muffin. Kamui DT should be a 12-star, considering that no one has an FC on it yet. Well, how am I supposed to know that? You said Kamui, I'm gonna think of the real one. Probably... I forget if Minecraft chickens lay an egg every 5 or 10 minutes. I don't actually remember. It's a shame I Love Egg was mapped by no mapper at all. What a shame. Maybe someday someone will map it. Oh wait, true, you're right. Oh wait, the map I was thinking of is Astro Sexy. That one is mapped by no one. Aranel. I'm not gonna lie, I completely forgot, like, that's a map. There's way too many maps that I had to play, I can't remember them all. I feel like the only thing I remember about Aranel is that they're from the Ottoman Empire. Still can't believe one of the top players sent it to setback. Oh, my bad. Mappers, mapping, high starting tech is important. Way to map something longer. Jumping for joy. Jumping for joy? Who's joy? That's awesome, though. Use this motivation to keep going. What if Skulk thing? What if? Who knows? I'll probably just mine it. Crazy concept. I think I will just mine it. I will also not be summoning the Warden. Also, I don't think I even have any more mountain biome chunks, so I don't think that's even a worry anymore. We got rid of the mountain biome chunks first. I mean, we have an egg that I can throw right now in my inventory. I could just do that. I could just do this. Well, I always keep one egg in my inventory so I can actually pick up eggs. Alright, let's see if we'll get a chicken. Give me a chicken! It's like the third or fourth egg we've thrown. No chicken. I don't remember exactly what the longest streak we've ever gotten with no chicken was, but I think it was literally over a stack of eggs with no chicken. So, over 16. Or it might have been 16 exactly, I'm not entirely sure. Also, yeah, this is a very, very average chunk. Again, maybe even slightly slower than average, actually, but... yeah. Nothing too crazy about this one. Still a quick chunk in the sense that I am mining it relatively quickly, though. Not getting too distracted or anything. We get more insta-mine. Oh. Oh, this is like right at the edge. Oh, there is tough blocks though. Gotta go. Okay, bye. Maybe my luck has increased. We shall see. Or maybe all the luck went to the blocks instead of the eggs. I would be fine with that. Anyways, did anyone here see the presidential address that was given today? What happened? Trump basically gave like I don't know what you'd call it. I guess like a speech where he just kind of babbled about how he discovered that China did election interference in the I forget if he said 2020 or 2024 or both elections. And then he also said Venezuela also interfered in the elections. And he basically was like, we need to make sure the elections are fair in the midterms. And also, mail-in ballots are not legitimate. And also, we need photo ID. And it's just the same reheated talking points that he just gives all the time. But like the like leaks about this speech made it sound a lot more scary than it actually ended up being. He basically didn't do that much new. The only thing that's really new is that I think he like released some classified documents, which is hilarious because this guy will release or unclassify anything except the Epstein files. But yeah, it's just a whole lot of nothing for the most part. It's basically him just trying to intimidate and uh like basically make people not believe in the elections. Because right now the Republicans are looking like they're gonna get decimated in the midterms. That's partially the reason why he's going on so strongly about this, because I think most of the polling has shown that Democrats have anywhere between, I think, as low as a 5% average lead against the Republicans to as high as I've seen like 12 or 13 percentage points above the Republicans. So and that's just like generic Democrat on the ballot. So it's rigged only if they lose, quite literally. But also, he literally, he even was like, even 2024, they tried to rig it, and it's just like, dude, give it up. You won already. You won twice. You don't need to care. Why do you actually care this much? Like, it's one thing if he never won again or never won in the first place, but he's literally won both terms he can legally win. So, like, I don't understand why he needs to keep caring this much, aside from the fact that he's a very fragile, egotistical maniac. He quite literally cannot handle the fact that he ever lost at any point in his life. But yeah, the thing that people were worried about is that he was gonna take it one step further and claim that I think specifically that the thing I heard about that they were whispering about was something along the lines of saying that Georgia specifically had like illegal elections and that they were gonna try and like remove the current Democratic senator from there and replace him with just some Republican stooge. But that literally would be so blatantly illegal that that could never happen. And even if it did, like there's no standing for it, and that actually might get people to like freak out. And that also doesn't work considering how underwater they are. They do not have the support for such a thing. But thankfully, the speech was actually just him complaining more about the 2020 election and not very much new, new substantive things. It's just more gaslighting about the elections because he knows the Republicans are going to get decimated in this upcoming midterms if it's free and fair. What if, what if, what if the big red button on his desk actually deleted the president instead of launching the nukes? Maybe we should press the delete button on his desk. Isn't that just his Diet Coke button? It quite literally is. I'm so sad that he's such a horrible person that I can't even, like, talk about the fact that he has one of the funniest, like, jokes he's ever, like, a president can pull on someone. Like, there was a report where he brought someone in, hit the red button, and just, like, kind of, like, smirked at them until he got his Diet Coke. Yeah, and that's the thing, like, when he was just tweeting as, like, a private citizen, it actually could be funny. But it's really not funny when he's quite literally in charge of the United States of America and is able to basically do anything he wants and chooses to be the worst person because of it. And also affects our lives. And the lives of basically everyone around the world. The amount of hate in his soul makes for really good Twitter posting, but it makes for an awful, like, president. Or just public servant of any kind. Like, there definitely was a different reality where he was just content with doing TV stuff, and he would just be an absolute diva on TV. Oh, and he would, like, embrace his bisexuality. The dude is definitely bisexual. There's no doubt about it whatsoever. The way he talks about men sometimes is kind of, like, absurd. Just the way he talked about Arnold Palmer alone just gives it away. Let alone the other dozen times where he's, like, really been into men despite, you know, supporting the party of kill all the gays. Yeah. I mean, it's just crazy with Trump because for him, it's more just like it's a matter of convenience rather than an actual held belief. Like, I remember there was one point in his first term where he was asked about transgender people, and he basically was just like, I don't really care. But then he realized that hating on transgender people really gets people on the right riled up in a way to get them to vote for him. And he's like, "Oh wait, I hate transgender now." This guy does not actually care about anything aside from own his own personal ego and wealth. And he only cares about himself. Anything that benefits him or he perceives to benefit himself, he will do. And he's realized that he can quite literally make himself emperor and give himself infinite money being a Republican. Because the guy was literally registered as a Democrat for most of his life, if I remember correctly, as well. And I'm pretty sure, didn't he quite literally hang out with Bill and Hillary Clinton as well? Like, this guy is a joke. But unfortunately, he's also in charge of the country, and we have to take him seriously because of it. Edo Island. I mean, the guy also just wanted to be in that inner circle of elites. But, you know, most of the elite people were like, this guy is kind of a monster. This guy's really weird. This guy is not fun to be around at all. Like, most elites and billionaires and such are not likable people, but Donald Trump is by far and away like the worst of the worst in every regard. Like even psychopaths in that clique do not like him whatsoever. No man, you can't come to my island. Like, at least Donald Trump didn't have to beg on Christmas morning to come to Pedophile Island. You know who seems to be like the chillest billionaire? Enlighten me. Warren Buffett? I have to disagree. 10 stream streak? Oh my goodness. I forgot that I enabled that at some point. Look, I'm just gonna say I don't care how chill he is, he should not have $1 billion. If he's really that chill, he can have $999 million and then be taxed 100% after that. If he's truly that chill, then he won't even mind. I think, honestly, at this point, it's the conservative opinion to be like, hey, if you have more than $999 million, you should be taxed 100% after that. Because low-key, I don't even think someone should have $999 million either. But, like, we gotta start somewhere. Surely, $1 billion has to be that, okay, 100% tax rate mark. The amount of things we could fund with just that alone would be astronomical. But yeah, I don't know. It's just Only people who don't want no billionaires think that if they work hard enough, they can get there too. Oh man, that's so funny, because, like, I'm trying to imagine doing the type of work that these billionaires do, and I genuinely think that I physically work my body harder than almost any billionaire ever has. I would love to see them do 11-hour kitchen shifts and not complain. Or not die. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think... I think the notion of someone being a chill billionaire is quite literally just a contradiction. Like, I get the point you were trying to make, but I just can't see billionaires that way. If there's any minority I actually will discriminate against, it is billionaires. Straight up. Yeah, I mean, like, as someone who grew up in poverty, it definitely, like, I don't make very much money, but I make enough money to, like, have my basic needs met, and that's pretty epic, considering that there was times in my life where that really was not a guarantee at all. Like, I still don't know the true extent of it because I've never asked, but I gathered from my upbringing, seeing the, like, swings in our comfort level and what type of food we're eating on a daily basis, and being like, oh, we're broke. And then going from, like, living in our own paid off house to renting out a small place. And, you know, I never really thought about it in my head, but, like, us moving out of that house did coincide around the financial crisis of the late 2000s, Great Recession. So I'm sure that could have a part in it, but it also just, like, finances were tight all around. Like I realized later in life that my family was definitely just paying things through infinite debt. Like, I'm pretty sure even to this day my mother still has a ton of credit card debt that she probably will never pay off. It's kind of wild to think. Thankfully, I'm not in that same spot, but I also could have been had things gone much worse. Like there was a time where we were down a couple $1,000, and really the only lifeline I had was the fact that I used a zero APR card and got it paid off the month before it would start accruing actual interest. So that's fun. And by the way, that's a privilege right there to even be able to do something like that. Most people don't get that privilege at all. Life as an American sucks, but there's also still a lot of privilege that we still get. Not that I think that credit card debt should be a privilege, but like compared to how some other people live in this world, it's a privilege. Yeah. Yeah, I was just saying, like, I had a lot of credit card debt, but it was on a zero APR card, and I got it paid off like literal weeks before I would actually accrue any interest on it. And it's just like it's kind of scary to think about if things went any worse, then could have entered a debt spiral. Oh dang, this obsidian goes pretty far down. Okay, it didn't quite go to bedrock though, one layer above. I have seen it go to bedrock though, it is possible. But... I think one thing I've had to kind of deal with in my mind is both the fact that my life is not as good as it could be, but I still have an immense amount of privilege compared to a lot of people in this world. Maybe even a majority of people in this world. Actually, most definitely a majority of people in this world. Just by raw numbers. Which is really depressing to think about, by the way. Like, I had a conversation with some Brazilian friends, and I'm just like discussing all of my worries about where this country is going. Surprisingly not ideal. Some other people, but essentially the conversation went along the lines of, you know, I think my country kind of sucks and is going off the rails, and things are going to get a lot worse in the upcoming years if we don't turn things around. And they basically just had to tell me that, like, a lot of the things that I'm worried about quite literally has already been happening in Brazil for a very long time. And not just Brazil, but, like, a lot of the global south. And like even now, like I still do have the privilege of being able to do things like protest and vote with my wallet in whatever way I can. People who live in much poorer countries and poorer areas of poor countries quite literally cannot do things like that. I mean, it doesn't make all the things that's going on in this country feel any better, but it definitely puts in perspective that it really could still be worse, and that I should enjoy the life I have, even if I know things will not be getting better soon. and still enjoy the privileges that I do get. That's still not going to stop me from demanding more. I mean, one of the points I made was, yes, I'm a privileged, entitled American, but I also feel like I deserve to be privileged and entitled in the literal richest country in the history of the entire planet. The richest country in the history of the entire planet should literally be able to give free healthcare at the point of service to every citizen of the country, and non-citizen too. There's no excuse. Like, if you're going to have this immense wealth and privilege, you gotta use it. But unfortunately, we use it for quite literally the worst of things. Or we just sit on it and do nothing with it. Which is also terrible, too. Yep. So, it's a little bit hard for me to grasp exactly how I should feel about a conversation like that, but I think what it makes me feel is that I'm still very much going to do what I can to protest my government, to make it do the things I want it to do, or not participate in the system wherever I can. But I should also try to look at what I do currently have and be more appreciative of it, because I also had to imagine, what if I never was born in America, which was a very real possibility. The other countries where I could have been born was like my family's home country of Iraq. Imagine I grew up in Iraq. I was born in 1999. Not that much longer after that would have been the war in Iraq. Like, there could have been a very real chance that I would not be here today had I been born in Iraq instead. That is kind of wild to think about. I don't dwell on it because, you know, that's not what happened, and, like, I am appreciative of that, but, you know, it's like, that's really messed up to actually put in perspective, where, like, I could have just been so much worse off had I been born anywhere else. I don't know. I'm very conflicted sometimes when I think about it, because it's like, yes, I'm super privileged by being an American, but I'm also, like, in a lot of ways still not. Like, I'm not white, so I automatically experience the racism debuff. And, like, everything going on in the country right now is very much heading in the direction of trying to strip me of my rights and my agency, so, you know, it's hard to feel like I'm gonna keep that privilege. So, I don't know. It's difficult, but I'm still gonna keep doing what I am doing, which is enjoy my time, but can't believe you voluntarily took the Utah debuff mid-run. If it wasn't the end of the chunk right now, I would have a lot of things to say to that, but I don't have the time to argue. Let's just say that I don't consider it a voluntary decision. I know you know, but I still have to argue. Oh my god. Okay, that was like 8 eggs in a row now. No chickens. Anyways, I'm just gonna take screenshots of my stats. I'm gonna punch them in a little bit later. But yeah, I'm gonna get out of here right now. So I'll catch you guys not tomorrow, but Saturday morning. World record.